Hi guys, just wanted to come back with an update on the rest of my day from having my second cycle but full strength dose of chemotherapy. I had an update earlier today where I think I tolerated it pretty well. After coming home, I made the video. I ate, made the video, then finished eating, and I passed out for a little while. I think I slept maybe only like 25 minutes. It felt like longer, which means it was good sleep, but I think it was only 25 minutes. And after I woke up, I was just feeling really junky. And forewarning, this may get emotional. I really don't like to cry in front of people. I don't think anybody does, but it might happen. This will be an emotional post. Shout out to my purple headband keeping my ears warm with this oxytocin. I have a sensitivity to cold, but I'm finding that my hands are fine. My ankles sting when the cold hits it. My chest and my shoulders fine, but my ears get like stabby when it gets too cold. So this is just basically helping my ears stay warm. And when I drink anything that's even slightly cold, like slightly above room temperature, it's still stabby. So it's strange. It's not affecting my entire body, just parts of it. But back to the reason for the video. After I woke up, I was sitting there and I was just feeling junky. I'm going to try to remember how I described it to my daughter, because my daughter came home and saw that I was just not doing good. And she asked me, can I get you anything? And she made me some peach tea in my iron flask. I can hold this iron flask and it doesn't have any effects. The cold doesn't have any effects on my hands, which is cool. Let me put that back. So she made me some peach tea, and when she came back, I took a couple sips of it. And it was tasty, of course. But drinking warm fluids doesn't like quench your thirst. Something about, and this could be totally psychological, but I feel like I need some cold water to quench my thirst, but I can't have it. If I drink it, it's gonna hurt me. So I started getting down about that. And then just the feeling that I have inside from this treatment, the half a dose, let me tell you, the half dose was nothing compared to this full one. I explained it to my daughter that, I'm feeling it from here all the way down to my stomach, and it feels like I'm being poisoned. It feels like erosion. It feels like when you pour Pepsi on raw meat, or rust eroding away at a pipe. That's what it feels like on the inside. And at that point, trying to explain it to my daughter, she got teary-eyed, and I don't want her to worry. Of course they're gonna worry. I don't want her to worry. But in that conversation, just getting it out actually helped a lot. um, just being able to voice what I'm feeling, um, to explain it thoroughly and completely, um, it helped because I was hearing what was coming out of my mouth, and it was negative. It was like I feel like I'm just eroding from the inside. I feel like it's poisoning me, which that's what it's doing. And once I actually heard myself say that, it just popped in my brain. If this is making me feel like absolute shit, it's got to be kicking the cancer's ass. It's got to be doing its job. So I need to do my job in keeping my mind strong so that I can get through this. My body may get weak. I tend to have the belief that as long as you keep a strong mind and positive thoughts, your mind, your will can get you through anything. And being able to talk to my daughter and reassure her that, even though this sucks, even though this just feels like shit, I'm not giving up. And I'm going to fight this. I reminded her I'm going to have weak moments like this where I think I just need to purge, and I'll pick myself right back up. I don't tend to wallow for too long. I think wallowing sometimes is healthy. You got to get the shit out in order to get to the good. So that's what I felt I was doing. And I asked one of my most dearest friends if I could share what I explained to her, or share our conversation in our text, because she texted me shortly after. And this is a person who every morning she wakes up and she sends me positivity memes to keep me going. I love her to death. She is such a wonderful person, and I'm lucky to have her. And she said it was okay to share what I sent her. She asked me if what happened, and if I wanted to talk about it. And what I sent to her was, I'm going to read it so I don't mess it up, so I'm sorry if I'm, looking downward. I said, this time around, I just felt like I was being poisoned from the inside, which is exactly what's happening. And I just started feeling like I was dying. I felt like I was just letting that feeling get to me. And Alyssa came in and saw that I was not feeling well, and she asked me how I was feeling, and I got to explain it to her in detail. And while explaining it, I just started crying. And I heard the words that I was saying and made a conscious decision that I'm not going to allow it to take me down. Not this early. So in my head, I had a conversation with myself to pick myself up and do something normal. I think walking is normal for me. For those of you who don't know, I typically walk 3 miles a day for my health, for my heart health, for cardio. I don't like running. I was a large-chested woman, and running was not an option. Maybe now that I'm smaller, I might start. Who knows? I have a few friends who are runners that I could get some tips from. Shout out to Lynn and Kim if they're watching. So maybe that'll change. And that's positive, right? So I said, I think walking is normal for me, and I really needed some air and just to move, just feel my body move. And it honestly did wonders for me. The part that I didn't explain before reading this was, after I cried and after I heard myself, I figured doing something normal may actually help me. So the weather right now is really shitty in Modesto, but I really didn't care. I put on like 3 layers of jackets, my mask, and a wrap around my head and my ears and my mouth. And I went for a walk, and I walked a mile, and I felt so much better when I got back. I really did, and I'm really proud of myself for getting off of my ass and telling myself, you know, don't let this control you. You need to control it. Um, I said my most important thought that came to me was, if this chemo is making me feel like utter shit, it has to be kicking the cancer's ass. It's doing what it needs to do, so I need to do what I need to do to keep myself going. And I truly, truly felt that. So that's what I did. I also went on to say that, and I'm going to preface this part with letting you know that my national heritage is of Puerto Rican, Hawaiian, and Native American Indian descent. Okay, my mom's from Hawaii. She's also Puerto Rican, and my dad's Puerto Rican and Native American Indian. And I got to be raised as a Latina with Hawaiian traditions, which is awesome. So now that I've said that, I'm going to go on to read what else I wrote to her, because if there are any other Latin women out there, you're probably going to be able to relate. So what I said was, I'm really trying to stay on top of keeping my mind straight, because as long as I can keep my mind strong, I can get through this. I'm not going to allow myself to wallow in what my body is experiencing. I have to go through this. I have to beat this if I want to stay alive. And I want to stay alive. My will to stay alive, I think, is going to be the driving force in me getting through this. Like I said before, I'm going to cry. I'm going to break down, but I will pick myself back up. I will try to figure out whatever it is I need to do to get my mind where it needs to be, because I'm a stubborn Latina woman. And in all honesty, love, I don't think I have ever been so proud to be raised as a Latina woman as I am right now. Just like her and I discussed recently, we've gone through hell and back in our lives. But all of those experiences and all of those journeys build you up to who you are, so that you can handle what you need to handle when you need to handle it. And I truly believe that. All of us have portions of dysfunction in our lives. Some more than others. And a lot of us get through it. We can't say unscathed, but we get through it because we're strong, because we're raised to be strong. And I think that for me, that's been a major bonus in my life. And I'm not trying to make this about nationality or race or anything like that. I'm just speaking from a personal perspective. Latinos don't corner the market on dysfunction at all, and that's not what I'm implying. I'm just coming from my own personal experience in who I am and what I've been through. So Crystal, if you're watching, I love you so much. You know that. And thank you for loving me and being my friend and being my family. Thank you. This shit is hard, but you can get through it if you put your mind to it. This is early. This is like my second cycle out of 12. Anyone out there who's watching in hopes that they could support someone going through this, my advice would be allow your friend, your loved one, your family member, allow them to feel the bad, and then help them move through it. With me, if I'm not allowed to feel the bad, I'm just going to be frustrated. I have to cry and maybe be shitty, just so I can purge all of that negativity out of my system, out of my mind, through my emotions, in order for me to get to a place where I can build myself back up. So, wanting to share the good with the bad, that's what I went through today. That walk helped me so much. That ball helped me so much. That conversation with my daughter and then with Crystal helped me so much. And oh my God, everybody that's like posting on everybody that's posting on my Facebook page, it's I'm a lucky girl. So thank you for watching. Those of you who are here to help someone else go through this, thank you for loving them enough to research on how you can help them. And I'm gonna get through this. I gotta suck it up. And I will be back probably, I don't know, if tomorrow is kind of shitty too, probably go for another walk. If I feel it's something that's shareable, that's something different from what I shared today, I'll come back tomorrow and share that. If not, I will be back on Thursday. Hopefully I'll be able to record. Hopefully I'll be in a section that I'm like by myself where they pull out the port. Sorry, woo. I do not cry well. Hopefully I'll be away from other people so I do not infringe on their privacy. Where I could, you know, videotape her taking the port out so that you could actually see the process of it. I'll ask the nurse if it's okay and if she could kind of take me to a corner that's separately. Because I think that would be really good for someone who is going to be going through this to see firsthand what it feels like. This time, let me tell you, okay, I'll show you from this side. If I move this way over here, it is not the business. It fucking stings. I'm sorry for swearing with the F word. I do that a lot, by the way. I am a potty mouth. I am fully aware of it. But I do have a decent IQ, so it kind of balances itself out, whatever. So that was like just out of nowhere. Yeah, when I move in this way, it hurts. It's like the needle's like, hey, knock it off. So just something to think about. 2 weeks after surgery, that's a little stinker. And I don't know if I mentioned it earlier. I think I might have, but I was not able to use the lidocaine because it wasn't fully healed. It was mostly healed. Healed enough where I don't have to keep it bandaged anymore. You could see here. If I get close, you see that little sticky stuff? That's like the liquid stitch. And I have to just wait for it to fall off. It is like that on top of the incision, except for one little one little place in the middle, but the nurse said it was fine. I'm going to ask another nurse tomorrow just to be sure. But yeah, sleeping tonight, I'm probably going to wake up with, you know, hey, I'm here. So yeah. Thank you for allowing me to share. I'm going to close off this video now. Too bad I couldn't carry, you know, Snapchat filters on over to here, because, whoa! So anyway. Bye. Thank you. See you tomorrow or Thursday.